What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. It's been a busy week, lots of releases, lots to talk about. If you enjoy these videos, hit the like button. Let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, Axial just released a new 1/18th scale Capra. Mine actually arrived on release day, but things were so crazy and it arrived a little bit late, so I haven't been able to get the video out yet. But this is, again, the new 1/18th scale Capra. The 1/18th scale part of it is a little bit confusing just because it's bigger than you would think. You know, it's almost like they could have labeled it a 1/12th or 1/14th or something like that and made the $249 value even seem like a little bit more worth it because it's getting closer to a 1/10th scale. It comes with some 3.6 inch tall tires on 155 wheels. It's all new, but it is styled just like the Capra you like. It's got a full-size servo on it. It's got true portals. The axles themselves, pretty large. A little comparison, it is about the same wheelbase and the same track width as my 1/10th scale Tamiya CC02 back there with that Bronco body. So that gives you any idea of the kind of weirdness that goes in between that whole 1/18th and what people call 1/10th. It's all over the place. But some nice features on this. We'll do a full video on this here soon, but I think the biggest downfall of it is that it's got the traditional axial ride height, which is just way too tall. It makes it look kind of toy grade when in hand it isn't. It feels much better, looks much better. The parts quality is good, but in photos and video, it just sits so high and it kind of looks toyish. So looking forward to getting it out on the rocks. Haven't been able to do hardly anything with it since it showed up, but that will happen soon. Next, a new release from Artful Dodgers. They just released their Groundfox chassis, but made specifically available for the VS410 platform. This is made to fit the VFD transmission in it as well. Therefore, you could use it with the Portal F10s or the straight axle F10s. It also appears that they're going to have a Traxxas version coming as well. If you've never seen Artful Dodgers, there's some really good looking parts. Definitely worth checking out. I'll put a link to the Artful Dodgers in the description below. You can go check them out, as well as links to the rest of today's stories. On the non-scale side of things, Traxxas released the XRT this week. And again, while it is non-scale, it made so much of a splash it's worth talking about. It's the size and width of like a wide max, X Max. So great big, super low, you know, truggy type thing, but just massive, crazy 8S power. If you're a fan of the X Max but wanted something that looks like it handles a little bit better, this thing looks like the ticket. Looks great, Traxxas style. If you're a fan of that already, then you're gonna love this thing. If you've been thinking about getting something to take up a whole bunch of space in your house, this would fit the bill and go fast. Moving on, HPI has a new release. This is on the Sport 3 chassis, and it's a Ford Mach-E. It's appropriate to see an electric vehicle on an electric vehicle. I felt like that was a good release, and it's a controversial take, but I like the Mach-E. I know that it has a Mustang badge and is not a Mustang, but I still like them. And this one looks pretty good. It's got the livery that we saw from Ford Racing previously. Just overall, I'm a fan. The Sport 3 isn't a crazy advanced platform by any means, but in the same light as, you know, a new Tamiya is still a new Tamiya, this is a new HPI. And maybe some of you also like the Mach-E. Maybe, I don't think that there's a lot of us, but maybe you're one of them. I don't think that we're in the majority, but if you're with me, let me know. Next, Vanquish Products has some new holiday deals going on, and in those deals, there's a release of a new Builder's Bundle. This is the VS410 chassis kit with F10 portal axles, a VFD twin transmission, titanium link set, SAD shocks, and the ISD10 drive shafts. Basically everything you need to put a roller or slider together technically. No wheels, tires, bodies, bumper, things like that. But beyond that, everything you need to put a truck together, and at an attractive price, $289. So you save some money over a full kit, but you also get some of the upgrades like the titanium links. Definitely worth checking out if you're looking to build a new rig, but you don't want to spend the extra $100 because it's not the style you were going for in the first place. Makes a good base to do a custom chassis swap or whatever you have in mind. Definitely check that out. You'll also find that there's some flash deals and deals happening here and there, like the Wheels of Fortune, which is a we pick your wheels deal. Inside the box, you'll get a full set of wheels, SLW hubs, and additional either IFR style beadlock rings or stylized exterior beadlock rings. So not just a normal off-the-shelf one. And the color combos will look good because they're picked by RC enthusiasts, as it says in the description. Just depends if you like that person's style or not. A little twist on the mystery box style. The deals do come and go, so some will be there, they might go away, but they might come back. Some will be there for short term, might be there for a week, might be there for the month. It's worth checking back. Links to that in the description below. For those of you that watch other videos on YouTube as well, you may have seen the one last week from Donut Media where they did like an RC video, just a dedicated RC video. And that was they bought cheap cars and expensive cars in a number of different brackets, from like bashing, crawling, and drifting. They bought a $30 RC car and a nice, $600 basher and one in between. They did the same for each of the brackets. It was an interesting video to watch as an RC enthusiast, looking at people who are obviously on the peripheral of the market and just to see their take on things. Speaking of cool videos to watch, this Thursday is the release of the monthly Mayhem videos. And in this season of monthly Mayhem, Matt and I also gathered 6 other YouTubers, and everybody took the VS410 Phoenix straight axle and had to turn them into top speed machines. You'll see one video release from everybody, start to finish, of their project. The 31st was the last day of filming at all, so it's over as of the time you see this video. And even as of right now in the 31st, I don't know any of the results either. So none of us, we've all kept each other in the dark. A little bit of, trash talking back and forth, but should be amazing. The 8 competitors were K-Pop RC, Tonley RC, Turks and Jerps, CCX RC, RC Review, and of course, Matt, myself, and West Desert Wheeler. There you go. That's all 8. Cross RC is teasing that they'll have a new 1/8 scale EMO X crawler. This looks like it's going to be like a 2.2 size crawler, something to kind of look like the Wendigo-esque as far as size and things like that go. Uses tires that are around 5.4 inches tall, longer wheelbase. It's got a Jeep body with a very angry styled grille on it, but it's more of like the brute cab. So cab with a truck bed, a bunch of scale details on it. It's got portals and unlocking diffs, a 2-speed, all of the bells and whistles. Now, Cross RC, they're one of the worst on putting out decent information. Their websites are always super far behind, whether it be their overseas one or the USA side. Everything just way behind. So who knows when we're going to see this. We saw this teaser and it kind of went out to news places, but information is still loose and they don't have official posts up or anything like that yet. It's so wild how they decide to run that, but we're going to see this at some point. We'll wait for more details to pop up, and when they do finally become available, we'll take a look and I'll let you guys know where you can get them. Next, coming soon from TWS, they've got their new CJ7 about to release. This is the same platform that we saw previously released with the VTR, which is kind of like the Suzuki Sidekick style body, but now coming with the CJ7 body, right on the nose with the name. I don't say Jeep, but they put CJ7 right on it. They show it on the box in 2 different ways, one with a top, one without. It's about a 10-inch wheelbase, 252 millimeters, so pretty short little body still, but finally coming out for release. I assume that you'll be able to see these at the normal places that we saw the last one for distribution. RC Mart was definitely one of them that I noticed available, or TWS does have their own website, but not sure how that works with import wherever you may be. The TWS CTS chassis is very similar to the MSTs. If you've seen the CFX, this one built very similar. And it appears that they were the previous designers that worked at MST and have now started their own thing. So That's why the similarities. It's definitely a platform that leans more on, scale, appearance, rather than performance. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Biddy Designs releasing the 1/10 scale no prep drag body that was Dodge Viper inspired, or SRT Viper, whatever the real name for it is. But now they've got the 1/7 scale Viper body released. This is for the ARMA 1/7 scale, and I believe it's specifically for the Felony platform, the one that's got the stagger to it. That's the one that you'll need if you want to pick up this body. It looks fantastic. Biddy Designs killing it with all of their body options. They making some of the best looking bodies right now, have to say. So another one to add to the list if you've got a 1/7 scale ARMA. I'm always going to talk about the new body releases for that platform because they look so good. You can't stop me. Livestream takeover this Wednesday, same time as always, but this week Matt and I will be talking about some new release stuff that's kind of coming out that day specifically, as well as a bunch of the Mayhem. So look forward to that. That's going to be the day before the actual release of the video, so all kinds of speculation. This is the last day we get to speculate before we spill all of the beans. Come hang out with us, join the live chat, always a great time. But that's going to do it for this week's news topics, for this week's question segment. Last week we talked about what makes you actually buy a car, and price conscious is always going to be like the first thing that I think people are going to say. And it was for the most part, but a lot of you seem to be, like really on the enthusiast side, not just one car. You've got several likely, and you're getting pickier and you want exactly what you want and when you want it. So there was a lot of really great answers that were more diverse than just the typical, it's got to be my price point. So there was a lot of really interesting points to read. But for this week, I want to know, what is your actual favorite RC? It sounds like a lot of you have, sounds like, there were some people who sound like they had in the triple digits, which is, you're certifiably crazy. We have a problem. I have a problem. You have a problem. We should embrace that we have a problem. But you had to pick one out of your entire stable. Which one is your favorite and why? Currently. Let me know. I want to hear why you're so attached to one particular. With that, as always, I want to thank you for watching the Scale News Update. Hit the like button if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.